Let's go straight to the Western Cape now, where Vuyiso JJ Tyhalisisu has been elected as the new chairperson of the ANC in the Western Cape. Now, the former Dullah Omar regional secretary emerged victorious after being nominated from the floor. He beat out the party's head in the legislature and veteran party member Cameron Dugmore. The ANC in the province had not been able to hold elective conferences due to internal conflicts since 2015. Now, Ayesha Ismail has been keeping an eye on the conference and covering that for us over the weekend, and she joins us now live from there. A far quieter environment behind you now, I would assume, than when this nomination came out of the blue from the floor, or perhaps not out of the blue. There would have been quite a bit of horse trading happening amongst the party structures up until that point. Ayesha, what can you tell us?
Absolutely, Marcel, but quiet for now because we are expecting the 30 additional members of the PEC to be elected very soon. But let me just bring in Mtsibisi Skwatsha to tell us about the new leadership. Now, the ANC in the Western Cape has not been stable for a long time. I recall there was a time when you were the provincial secretary, you served as the chairperson, and some would argue that during that time there was a semblance of stability. Are you confident that this new leadership will be able to steer the ANC in the Western Cape towards the 2024 elections and make a meaningful impact?
Any organization does set up its targets, and one such important target, which is a giant leap for the ANC in the Western Cape, is the fact that we can safely say there is an elected leadership. That in itself is a first step towards a very stabilized organization. There is an elected leadership, not appointed after many years. Now also, the second thing is you can only approach elections in a formidable way when there is an elected leadership. Some people who can take charge, who can take command of the situation. Now, the ANC in the Western Cape this weekend has successfully done that. And I think as an ANC member and as a former leader of the ANC in this province, that is exciting news. The second thing is that is going to be key and important is a united ANC. This leadership must know that it has now a responsibility to lead all ANC members, not only those that elected it. It has to lead all. Everybody must feel that we now have a leadership, whether I contested or not, because no one gets attracted into a divided house. The element of unity is key and paramount. And I can assure you, with that, we are going to be a formidable force. We will not speak about glory days we had. We will be able to speak about the glory days at present, because the people of this province yearn for a democracy that they had been deprived for quite a very long time.
Maybe you would be able to explain this better. Yesterday, there were two nominations, one for Lerumo Kalako and for Cameron Dugmore. They were nominated by the branches. Then Lerumo Kalako withdrew his nomination, which then left Cameron Dugmore. And then there was a nomination from the floor, which we now see that candidate, or was that candidate, has now emerged as the chairperson. How did that happen?
It happens in ANC processes. Nominations are from branches, but also nominations are taken at the plenary of a conference. And this is what happened yesterday. Nominations, when there was one nomination, elections agency asked whether there were further nominations, and there was a nomination that satisfied the criteria in terms of the threshold. And that nomination, when the ballots were counted, became the successful winner to be the chairperson of the ANC in the province. So basically, the the delegates of the ANC in the province have expressed their choice, and that choice has to be respected by everybody.
What do we know about JJ Tyhalisisu?
JJ Tyhalisisu is a former Secretary General of COSAS. He's been involved, especially in the Western Cape, for quite a long time, even before he became the National Secretary SG of COSAS. He is a boy of the province. He has led the ANC Youth League in the province. He has also led recently the biggest region of the ANC, the Metropole, for quite a while as the secretary of the Metro, in spite of the fact that sometime in the last 2 years that regional executive was disbanded. But he is a seasoned activist, he has been around, and we hope that he would be able to mobilize everybody for an ANC win, not a win of any individual.
I have to ask you this as well. One of the things that came out of this conference yesterday was reducing the power of the Democratic Alliance in the Western Cape. Are you confident that this current leadership will be able to do that?
If we all put our ducks in the row and we all assist, it can be done. We've done it before. It's not insurmountable. We can still do it. And I am confident that with the assistance of everybody, we working together for an ANC that will serve our people, we will be able to make that difference.
Thank you so much for your time, and that was Mcebisi Skwatsha speaking on behalf of the African National Congress. And of course we're waiting for proceedings to start here today so that the 30 additional members that will be represented on the PAC can be elected. And then of course later today President Cyril Ramaphosa will be closing this 3-day conference held here at the Cape Town International Convention Centre.